With a band as visually stimulating as Kiss, it's no surprise that their opening act painted pictures on stage. Internationally known artist David Garibaldi opened up the show about 7:45 with an oversized canvas and the music of Tom Petty. And in short time, over the course of 3 songs, slapped, stroked, and spattered paint in a seemingly random way, yet came up with an outstanding portrait of Tom Petty. He was animated, he engaged the crowd, and his second painting wasn't really revealed until he turned it upside down and displayed a colorful portrait of Jimi Hendrix. Finally, with music blasting and large theatrical movements throwing paint all over this large canvas, he came up with a portrait of Kiss that concertgoers had a chance of obtaining by contributing money towards Make-A-Wish. Then the wait was on for the main event. Now, on the way in, the parking lot was filled with vendors selling Kiss merchandise. And once you got inside, the lines for the Kiss shirts rivaled the beer tents. I'd say like 1 out of every 4 people was wearing Kiss merchandise. The Kiss Army was in full force. And at 8:45, following the strains of Zeppelin's rock and roll, Kiss exploded onto the stage. You could feel the fire from 20 rows back. Detroit Rock City into Shout It Out Loud, into Deuce, with Paul Stanley as the MC, proclaiming there's no Kiss without the Kiss Army. Everything was larger than life. The band went into Say Yeah, followed by I Love It Loud, and Heaven's on Fire. Let me make this very clear. There is absolutely nothing subtle about a Kiss concert, and there's always something to look at. Pyrotechnics, flames, movable video screens. Now, speaking of fire, during War Machine, Gene briefly breathed fire. And then Paul Stanley announced they're going back to 1983 with Lick It Up. Gene led the way with Calling Dr. Love, and for the song 100,000 Years, Eric Singer and his drum kit elevated up into the air for a crowd-pleasing drum solo. Kiss then continued to take turns with solos as Tommy Thayer soloed during Cold Gin, shooting sparks and pyro from his guitar. And then it was the God of Thunder, Gene Simmons, spitting blood, elevated about 30 feet up in the air. That led to a bright backdrop of Psycho Circus, perfectly appropriate for the State Fair across 690. And then Let Me Go Rock and Roll. As Paul Stanley mentioned, the first time Kiss was here was 1975, and this was his opportunity to join the crowd. He stepped onto a harness that lifted him over the crowd to a second stage by the soundboard while he performed Love Gun and I Was Made for Lovin' You. And then taking the stirrup airlift back to the stage, Kiss wrapped up with Black Diamond. For the encore, Eric Singer came out on piano to perform the ballad Beth into Crazy Crazy Nights, and the final song of the encore, Rock and Roll All Night. The show clocking in a little over 2 hours. These guys are the rock and roll equivalent of professional wrestling, and nobody puts on a show like Kiss. Nobody. From the St. Joseph's Health Amphitheater at Lakeview, that's a concert recap for Kiss at syracuse.com.